Welcome everyone to part 2 of your powerful Power Fall overseed exercise program to come back into our regular season hitting the ball further than you hit it last year. Long and straight, long and straight. Last time we talked about what you need to do from the ground up, that 32% of your power is from the waist down, and how you use your feet, how you use your knees, how you use your hips really determines what the rest of your body can do to help you produce power. And the 3 things that we highlighted are, don't be afraid to lift your lead foot off the ground. If you're a right-handed golfer, that'd be your left foot. If you're a left-handed golfer, that'd be your right foot. Don't be afraid to lift that off the ground so you can slam it back down on the ground and then straighten it and add some rotation to your hip turn. That squat and jump style movement is what you see in the longest players in the world, especially the long drive champions, both male and female.
And how much percentage, how much comes from your hips below?
32%.
32%.
So that means that 64% of the remaining part of the engine is really from the bottom of your ribs to the base of your neck. Your ability to rotate your trunk, the rotational velocity of your trunk, is what multiplies the power that you generate from the ground. So if I hit the ball off my knees, for example, I can hit it about 65 to 70% as far as I do standing up. Because when I hit the ball off my knees, yeah, I don't have any of the 32% available. So that's about right. 64% plus 4%, that's about 68%. And occasionally I can get it to 65 to 70% of normal distance. So what can I do to increase this rotational value of the trunk, which sadly for most of us, when you get past 50, that starts to decline. The range of motion and the speed start to go away.
Or we're scared. I mean, back pain, a lot of golfers, amateur golfers and professional golfers, as we've seen, have a lot of back pain. So once you have back pain and you're going to go out and golf anyway, all of a sudden you're going to change your swing and maybe use your arms more, or maybe just use your legs, but you don't want it hurt, right?
Right.
So we take all these pills or whatever we take, or we just don't, we mask the pain, or we don't actually use the torso. So our main goal is to take the energy from the ground, take it through the legs, through the torso, and ultimately through the club head, right? Mm-hmm. And have the greatest distance possible. So what I have found is we need to start with having very loose hips. Are nice and loose, then we have the freedom to lift up our ribs and start to rotate our ribs back and forth. That's one of the Titleist Performance Institute tests that I have people start. Once I see that you can separate your lower body from your upper body safely, fantastic, hit the ball crazy far, then we have to add a little bit of extra energy. We have to add the speed. We have to add the power to it and the strength. So at home right now, while you're watching this, you don't even need any fancy equipment at all, although I'd love for you to come see me and him, is just reaching, not this. Look in front of a mirror and see if you reach to me, if this stays still. If this stays still, you are losing power. You have a power leak somewhere. So if you can reach to me and turn your ribs, but keep your hips still, then we have adequate mobility of your ribs. Think of it as boxing. I have a lot of my players box just to show the power coming from the lats, the torso, obliques, and back. You can also go side to side. Get a little closer here. Side to side, side to side. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Side. So
just trying to knock the nerd out of me.
So there are a lot of things you can do to help you get acceleration through the ball by way of your torso.
And again, what we find in the longest players in the world through TPI is that their rotational velocity is superhuman. Yes, they get a lot of help from the lower body, and they do a very, very good job of generating force against the ground, but they transfer that tremendous amount of speed and energy to the rotational velocity of the trunk. You look at them and you see these fast arms, but those fast arms are actually coming from a very, very fast torso. It's almost as if the arms are being flung off of the torso by how fast the collarbones are rotating, how fast the mid part, the rib cage part of the body is rotating, and then how fast the lower part of the spine is rotating. The arms are gaining that speed, not on their own, but from other parts of the body. This energy transfer is gonna be the secret to hitting it further with less effort.
And when we actually screen people, our job is to try to find the power leak. Something's going to leak. Is it going to be the legs? Is it going to be the torso? Or is it going to be the arms? And most of the time, where's the leak?
Yeah, it's in the torso. Yeah, most of the time. Well, I've done, Mindy's done more, but I've done somewhere over 1,200 individual one-on-one TPI screens, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that the vast majority of the time, the problems are from here to here.
Yep. From
the belly button to the base of the neck, that's where the problems are. We do have a high instance of hip immobility, especially in older clients, but the vast majority of the clients that have power losses, it's because of what the trunk is doing.
Right. So we think of it as, oh, it's abs. Okay, I'm just going to do my 100 sit-ups a day or my 100 crunches. Well, the only time we really crunch in the swing is this way, when we're coming down into the downswing, and then we start working on extension through the follow-through. So doing a crunch is fine if you want nice ripped abs, but you might want to stop eating too. But there are a lot more things we talk about in the core. There's the obliques, and there's a diagonal sling that I look at every time I see a golfer come to me. There's a diagonal sling in the front, there's a diagonal sling in the back, and we want to be able to work down and up through, and then as you come through, we're going to work from top to the bottom in your back. And that sounds very, very complicated, but we're going to show a couple things. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I already did this kind of a diagonal sling back and forth rotation. I went here and here, two basic things that if you did that every single day, you would loosen this up and you would get a little bit more power and speed. Ron, will you be my assistant?
I will.
So Ron's gonna hold this. Old tube, I don't know how many years I've had this. They're not very expensive whatsoever. But I'm gonna hold, don't let me pull you over. I'm gonna hold this. Oh, I will pull you over. I'm gonna hold this. Ugh. Right here, strong in my feet. I can feel this glute really having to kick in. And what I'm gonna do, instead of doing this, hey, what's that look like? Over the top.
Over the top.
Over the top, is I'm gonna try to move everything together. Now, this is not working on separation of the upper body, lower body. This is working on the stability or the trunk strength right now. We talked about strength plus speed equals power. First, I want strength. I want accelerate and then resist it back. That's actually harder than the acceleration. And then resist it back. Okay? So just doing that, slow and controlled first because you need the strength. Once you feel better, and by the way, where do you see my power first coming from? Dun, 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 right here. Okay, that may take a little bit to get the sequencing, which is to be expected. Ron, how about you rotate, and I'm gonna work on anti-rotation.
Okay.
So he's gonna now do it. Come on over here a little bit. He's gonna now do it. I'm gonna try to hold. I'm gonna set my hips right. Now you try to rotate for me. And then he comes back. Gonna get a breath and he's gonna do it again, but maybe a little faster. It makes it harder. So slower does not mean easy by any means. But now he's working on his rotation. I'm working on my anti-rotation muscles on the side to make me stronger on the sides versus wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. So that's the first thing I would recommend. Hold it again. And let me get on this side. Since I am a right-handed golfer, I do want to demonstrate this. Good. Yep, step over there. Just a little resistance is good. So what I do with my players is I say we don't start right here, even though this is impact, and impact kind of gets it over to here too, is I want to start right behind my foot. Strong, lock. I'm not doing that or arms. I see that a lot and I've got to teach it. You're going to pretend you got 2 towels or head covers in your armpits. Super strong. In fact, put 2 towels or 2 head covers in your armpits. And you're going to try to use your torso right through impact. Not up here, but right through impact, making sure you do both sides. Now, let's have you do it on your opposite side. And I will hold. Oh yeah. You're gonna start from outside his left foot and go through the ball. That is a perfect way at home on your own, if you feel safe there, instead of going somewhere else, to go ahead and get a tube from the internet, very inexpensive. Get a medium one to start with, or a lighter one, and being able to do a few things on your own. What do you think? How do you feel?
I'm exhausted. All right, thanks for watching. And look, next week, we're going to talk about some specific things you can do with your golf swing mechanics, like arm lift, that will do a tremendous amount to help you increase your power.